Now, something else that we're going to discuss tonight uh, has to do with something local. And I am going to have Carmel Diva on here. She just texted me and inboxed me and said, give her a few minutes. But she's very close to this story. We're very close to this story because when we broke this story, and that is, of course, the story of the black man who worked. He used to work at Oriental Trading Company. A lot of y'all in Omaha, a lot of y'all in Iowa, surrounding areas know all about Oriental Trading. I used to work there way back in the day. And doing telemarketing, taking orders for people who want to place orders to buy all those different things that Oriental Trading sells. So I done worked there several times, way back, like in the 90s, like way back in the day. But Oriental Trading is still in existence. I think who used to be the old owner, Paul Watanabe, somebody Watanabe or some shit like that. But he was at work. And I guess he had got into it with a coworker, right? And so he must have been at lunch or on break at the restroom somewhere. And while he was away from his seat, from his desk, another coworker used some twine or used some string or something and formed it into the shape of a noose. And we all know what a noose is, okay? So he formed it and shaped it in the shape of a noose and put it on that co-worker's chair on his seat where he sits at work. And so the co-worker came back, and when he saw it, he was like, what the hell? You know, I mean, he handled it really well. Because some of us, oh man, please that man, the damn Oriental Trading would have been towed up for the flow up, furniture would have been moving. You know, they sell a lot of toys and trinkets and holiday decorations. Now that shit would have been all flying all over the place. But he handled it very well. And he contacted the police. He contacted his supervisors. He took pictures. He contacted his niece, Carmelita, his niece, and told her about it. And then she contacted me. She was so mad and frustrated and angry. She contacted me and she was like in tears. I can't believe what they doing to my uncle. I can't believe somebody doing this. This is year 2020, twin. You know what I'm saying? Because this happened 2 years ago. So this was in 2020. And she hit me up. I said, oh, hell no. And she was like, Tanya, they ain't doing nothing. You know, he's scared. He thinks the guy is following him and stalking him because the guy, you know, he got suspended or something like that. So I said, oh, hell no. If they don't want to discuss it, we can discuss it right here on the hood table. So we discussed it, right? I'm thinking we discussed it like we do all kind of other stories. Paul said, ha ha ha. Yes, we discussed it like we do any other story. And so the next morning, I swear to God, the next morning, I usually get up around 6:30. I gotta start work like 7:30. I get up early, you know, do whatever, all your morning stuff, straighten up. I know I work from home, but just because I work from home, don't get it twisted. I know some people work from home, they roll out of bed and they just go to their desk. No, I get up, I make me coffee, I fix me something to eat, I straighten my bed, I make sure my room is clean, I, you know, tidy up around the house, and then I come into my office and I get to work. Like all my computer stuff is to the side of me over here. And I get to work. But so I'm getting up doing my normal morning routine, and I'm hearing the door knock. I'm like, who the hell knocking on my door at 6:00 in the morning? Knock. I checked my phone, and I got, you know, because I got an alarm, security alarm. So I'm checking my phone, and I'm looking at the cameras on the outside of the house, and I see somebody out there with a big old camera, like a big old hey Karma Diva, welcome, love. I'm just giving them a little backstory on what happened with the story you about to update us on. Okay. And so I looked out my window, out my camera, and I see all these news people, news trucks in front of my house. The very next morning, I look at my phone and I see all these phone calls. I got all these voice messages. I get on my computer and I got all these emails from all these newscasters and news station reporters. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, we just talked about this shit last night, and I got the news people at my door the next morning. Now I'm kind of scared because I'm like, oh shit, why they really here? And then I didn't want to open the door. Plus, it was too early in the morning. All these white people outside my door with cameras and microphones, and I'm like, okay, just leave your card in my mailbox. I'm talking through my Ring alarm. Just leave your card in my mailbox. So eventually, every news station in the immediate area was hitting me up to ask, can they speak to me or speak to the parties involved, and they also wanted to take a clip of my YouTube video discussing the story. So I eventually gave permission to, I think it was a WWT Comedy, I think it was Channel 6, or
Yeah, it
I
was
know it
Channel
wasn't
6.
Channel 7. Yeah, it was Channel 6. And I
Mm.
eventually gave it to them. And the story grew legs from there. And that's why I always say you could be a YouTuber, you could be a IG personality, you could be on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, but you never know how far you are going to reach by discussing something on your platform. And to this day, we are almost at 10,000 views on that video of our show that we did. And as soon as it hit Channel 6 the next day, I said, now you can use our video Channel 6, but you have to give credit to the Hood Table. You have to, because y'all came knocking on
So
our
for
door.
sure.
Okay, you came knocking on our door. So, and that's exactly what they did. They said, now the Hood Table broke this story. And so they made sure that they showed our video and everything. They said Tanya and them from the Hood Table. So I'm like, yeah, thank you, thank you. But because I feel like when we use stories from the news, you know where they came from. You see it on the screen. It'll say the name of the station, RBXTUVABC, whatever. So we know, people know we get stories from the news. So I want to make sure that they gave us a shout out too, which they did. But
Right.
the story eventually went to court, and I'm gonna let Karma Diva take it from here and let you know what happened after it hit the news and what's going on now. Go ahead, babe.
So it's taken 2.5 years. This happened back in June of 2020. Um, and at first, I was going to the lawyer's office with my uncle. He wanted me present for everything, which I'm grateful for, to be able to stand up with him and stand for him. And we were going, and what has taken so long, because this case could have been prosecuted a long time ago, and life could have went on, but because this fell under a hate crime, they wanted to prosecute it federally, because they had just did that new federal hate crime. So they wanted to do it they wanted to prosecute it federally. Not only that, they wanted the right person from Washington, D.C., to come in and um, prosecute, to be the prosecutor on this case. So um, Biden, when he first got into office, one of the things he did was actually that new black judge. I can never think of her name, but he just swore in a new black judge for the Department of Justice, and that's who they were waiting on. So once she got wind of the story, it took on legs from there. Um, she and other lawyers from DC got involved, and this man, it pisses me off because he has never served an hour of jail time since all of this has begun. Never served any time. Um, he is for real crazy. If you heard what he said in court about black people ain't scared of Nazi stuff, but they scared of nooses, which is why he left the noose on my uncle's machine. Not only that, he knew he had to plead guilty because his DNA was already found on that noose he made. they had already the local sheriff in Sarpy County. I wish I could think of his name, but he and his partner, they were awesome. But um they sent it off for diagnostic testing because it was between the this what's his name, Bruce Quinn, and two other people that he hang with there at Oriental Trading. One of them is a supervisor, and the other one's just another guy that works there. And they all hang around each other. So they sent the DNA away to confirm which one of them it was. So once his DNA came back, he had no choice but to plead guilty. Um, I wish he would have. I mean, the thing is, he pled guilty. He can under this federal hate crime statute, he can serve up to a year in prison and a $10,000 fine. But like I said the other day, when I made my video and when I was recorded by Channel 7, I said, so he can serve up to, not necessarily get that year, but my uncle has been suffering for longer than that. He's been suffering longer than that year. And he's going to continue suffering. He's going to continue having anxiety and depression and fear every time he turns a corner somewhere or he sits in a restaurant, he and his wife.
Because he thought he was being stalked or followed, and
He
right?
was. He was.
Okay.
When when that man got fired, he started following my uncle around town. I mean, I don't know how he got my uncle's address, probably because his friend was a supervisor. But, and that's allegedly. But he was following my uncle around town.
Allegedly.
No, that part is true. He was following him around town, chasing him. And
no, I was just repeating what you said when you said allegedly. I was just repeating what you said.
Oh, I was saying allegedly that he got the address from his friend because he was a supervisor. Yeah. You know, we don't want to quote unquote implicate somebody who may or may
not. We don't want to do a Tasha K child because I ain't got $4 million like Tasha K.
I ain't got no much shit. I ain't got $1, so.
$4. Okay.
Shit. But yeah, the man is crazy. He was pissed at my uncle because he got fired, and it's like, but nobody made you make that noose and put it on my uncle's machine, sir. Nobody asked you to do that.
What brought that to be in the first place? Because I was trying to explain earlier before you got on that I think either they might have had words before, or he just didn't like your uncle, or what brought it to that point in the first place. That, I mean, that's just some shit you just don't see every day. You walk around and look on somebody's seat and they black and somebody done put a noose on their seat. Not in these days.
According to my uncle, he has had words with just about, and it's only about maybe 5 black people that work there at that on that shift. He has had words with just about all of them, and each time they, turn him in or say, "Hey, Bruce done said this," or "He done did that," the supervisor would laugh it off. "Oh, he just playing. Oh, he just kidding around."
Because it was cool, the supervisor and
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So basically they were just making complaints. Just the man was letting them. It was a piss and moan session where, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can tell me about it, but I'm not finna do shit about it." But thank you, Miss Hall. Yeah, my uncle, I have noticed the change in him, and anybody knows my uncle knows he's a big guy and he looks scary, but he is the sweetest, the nicest man you would ever meet. He loved dancing, which you can't do. And I mean, he's a
Like a
funny
big teddy
dude.
bear.
Yes. And when I say he loves his family, he loves his family. And so when, naturally when he calls me and he says, "Hey niece, can you run a story on this?" Of course, of course. Can you come sit with me at the lawyer's office? Not a problem, What time? I, you know, he has helped me in so many ways that he don't even realize. Like when my mom died last year, just him, he decided one day, okay, hey, why don't you and the kids come over? And him and his wife, when I said they cooked like it was Thanksgiving, I mean, there was ribs, baked chicken, fried chicken, greens, cabbage, just, I mean, whatever you could think. I was like, y'all did all of this. I was like, who else coming? And he was like, nobody, it's just for y'all.
Oh.
And I was just like, Uncle Keith, but
Oh, been
it
taking
was
a
just
whole
like,
bunch of leftovers home. Let me get some of them
girl, okay.
cabbages.
They was trying, but I was like, I don't have no room for that food. But it was just so nice, so
Yeah.
unexpected that because I don't expect nobody to do stuff for me. I've never expected anybody to do stuff for me. Yeah, I do go out of my way to help other people. I do, but I never expect anybody to do anything for me. And I don't know how to accept a compliment or accept it in return. And that's something my stepmom has always said. She was like, you break your back trying to help everybody else, and somebody tries to do something for you and you don't know what to do. I'm like, I don't.
Well, does he feel like, I know they say he can be facing up to 1 year in prison for basically what they're calling, it was a hate crime. It was a hate crime. And he did take a plea uh for
And not
placing
let's
for
mention
placing
that
the
this
news.
is a historical case
Hmm.
because this is the first time that anybody under this new statute, this new federal statute,
Right.
this is the first time anybody has been prosecuted and found guilty of it in the state of Nebraska.
Right. And he did
So,
plead guilty to civil rights charge for placing the news on his co-worker's chair.
mhm.
So he did take a plea. They did say, like you said, he can face up to 1 year in prison. But what's the likeliness of him? Like what is your uncle? I mean, I know you don't want to give out everything, but do they think that he will really serve that year or
um, I think he probably will
Mhm. I hope
because
they
of
do. I hope they
his.
make an example out of his ass.
That's what we
And his
hoping
name is
too.
Bruce Quinn, by the way.
Bruce
And it's
Quinn.
in the paper. It's in the paper. But yeah, his name is
And,
Bruce Quinn. And I hope all the people who know you are
right.
totally like
Discuss it
disgusted.
with you and turn their back on you and
Yeah.
leave you for dust in the
Because
wind.
them are the type of people who be like, oh, I like black people. I got black friends. You know,
I got five
that's
black friends, yeah.
mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
I think so because of his courtroom behavior. He was even creeping out the judge. His lawyer, he was just saying some of the most, according to my family. I didn't go to this hearing, but said he was just saying the most outlandish, wild, crazy shit, and his lawyer kept having to tell him to shut up, and the judge too was, I mean, said it got so bad the judge pushed the button and had the sheriffs come in
So
around
was
her.
he like blurting out stuff? Was he like, I
Yeah,
mean, trying to act like he was, you know how some people try to act
and trying
like
to act insane.
insane.
I don't
Yeah.
know if he was acting or, but even when the sheriffs, when they interviewed him, when all this first started, I sat there across the table from the sheriff, and he said the man was so weird that he called his partner in with him because he was just
He
creepy.
thought they might have to tackle his butt or something.
Yeah, just creepy and unhinged.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And see, them to see, and you never know. I mean, if he acting like that in court, if he acting like that to a judge, like I would be just like your uncle. First of all, I ain't never coming back to that job. And second of all, y'all need to make sure he ain't, because if he think he's being followed and stalked and stuff like that, come on now, somebody better protect me and my family. And hey, Sislo, welcome to Friday Night Live.
What's
So,
crackalacking?
Wow, Karma Diva is giving us the update on her uncle with the news story and everything.
yeah.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
anybody, what we are asking as a family and as members of this community and society, if you are in the city of Omaha or if you are going to be here, December the 2nd, Friday, um, come to the federal courthouse. We want to black that date. We want to black it out. We want to black that courtroom out. We want it filled with black faces so that they know we are not taking this bullshit laying down. We are taking this as serious as it is.
Well, you know I'm
And
gonna be there. I already took the day off and got it approved.
right, and that he has the support
Support.
of the community.
Yeah.
That hey, we are not gonna have this. This is not. I don't know what you thought was gonna happen, but it ain't gonna happen like this.
And you know
And
what, Karma Diva? Do
it's
you
at 9
recall?
a.m. at the. Hold on, I just want to say it's at 9
Okay, go ahead.
a.m. at the federal courthouse downtown. You need a government ID, which more likely it cannot be expired, so you can't come with no expired driver's license. It has to be current, and I'm saying they start
Oh,
at
you need an
9.
ID to go to.
You better get in into the federal
No,
courthouse.
I'm
Yep,
saying you have to have an ID to go to court now.
yep, yep.
Yeah, every
And
Oh,
ever since 9/11, they card you when you go, especially in the federal
I
buildings.
ain't know.
Yeah.
I ain't remember being carded, and we was at the whole doggone trial for Joshua Keto for that murder.
Well,
No,
some state,
it's
I don't think.
federal.
some
I don't know.
yeah, some state
Oh,
buildings might
because
not do it, but the federal buildings definitely
oh,
do.
okay. Well, that might have been a
Mhm.
difference because it was a federal. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I got you. Okay.
But it starts at 9. But I'm suggesting if you are coming and you want to see, you might want to get there earlier than 9 o'clock.
I'm gonna be there
But
at 6 o'clock.
well, hell, you won't be there long because
I'll
he.
be there with a sausage, egg, and cheese muffin. I'm gonna have a sausage, egg, and cheese muffin and a caramel coffee for caramel.
And we are also going to we are going to make some signs
Oh, that'd
saying
be
that
nice.
his life matters. That this is a time where Black Lives Matters needs to be there and
Exactly.
needs to be present and supportive
Hmm.
because he did this to intimidate a Black life, a
Hmm.
man who ain't bothered nobody. My uncle
Hmm.
never bothers anybody.
Yep. And that man
And
knew what he was doing because, like I was saying
yeah,
before you got on here, certain people would have told that Oriental trading inside and out. Like we already know. But I'm
mm-hmm,
like, I said, I gave a shout out to your uncle because he handled that perfectly. Like the whole
mm-hmm,
situation, contacting the right people, he handled that perfectly, so that
yeah.
he doesn't get any charges on him for
Well, see,
retaliation
of
or
course,
anything.
I mean, naturally, he was pissed, he was hurt, he was upset, he was scared and
Yeah,
nervous and anxious. But between myself and my cousin, I can say that, you know, we were telling my uncle what to do in the background. Like, hey, we know because we want to go and get his ass too.
as of the law
Trust
attorney.
me. You're right. I'm
I
like,
believe it.
this is who you need to contact. So I put him in contact with Justin. I'm like,
Mm.
hey, I went to high school with him. He's a good dude. He's always out in the community. He's a smart young brother, and he's a senator. This is who you need to contact as an attorney. When he contacted Justin immediately was like, oh, hell no. He was like, wait a minute, hold on. And grabbed onto that. But he had other duties as, representing other clients and, being down there in the Senate. So he also put us in contact with some other lawyers who could assist and be more hands on. And we appreciate him so much for all that he's done for my uncle and my family.
Yeah, shout
Um,
out to Justin.
yes, yes,
Senator Justin.
Senator Justin Wayne. That is a good young man. That's a good man.
Yep. And you got a
Um,
question from the chat from Miss Hall. You see it?
okay, let me see. How long
She
was
said,
that?
how long was the man working there before they fired him? Do you know how long he was there?
That I don't know. I know he had been there some years too, because as a matter of fact, when he put that noose on my uncle's machine, that was the anniversary of my uncle. That was his work anniversary. That was his 4 year
His work
anniversary at work.
anniversary? Okay.
Hmm That was his
Mm-hmm.
4 year
Oh, because I
anniversary.
remember you were saying he was just happy and excited about reaching his 4 years, and then
Yeah,
that happened. Yep.
yeah. And
Yep.
then to walk in and see that bullshit, that kind of stops you dead in your tracks. And then you like I said, it's not that many people that work the overnight shift as it is. And then for it to only be like 5 black people, it ain't one of them.
Right.
And then, you out there in La Vista, which is
Sarpy
basically the boonies,
County.
yes, Sarpy County. And those of us who live here,
I
and
don't like to
most
be
of
out
us
there
who
at
are
night.
black,
I don't like to be there in the daytime.
those of us who are black and brown,
Hmm.
no, you don't want to fuck around in either Potawatomi or
Don't
Sarpy
even get a
County.
speeding ticket over there. Mm-mm.
Right, in neither one of them counties.
Yep.
But I have to give it up to the Sarpy County deputies because they were on it. The Sarpy County Police, yeah, or the La Vista Police, they initially dropped the ball, but
Yeah.
them sheriffs, oh, they were on it. They
Well,
were
that's
on
good.
it, and I have to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to. Because and
Yeah,
that's why I was gonna say, remember when right out okay, remember when we broke that story, right? And then remember when the other black lady came on our show because she wanted to speak to us too about her situation with the news? Do you remember that? At the
yeah,
Audemars,
yeah,
Council
yeah, yeah.
Bluffs? Okay.
I remember.
And nothing ever it didn't go nowhere where your uncles went. And of
Mm.
course, she's not happy about that. I haven't talked to the lady in a while, but I can imagine that she wasn't happy with that. She was very upset, stressed out. She quit her job, and things like that. And she was like the top salesperson over there at the Automart 150. I think that's the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
In Council Bluffs, selling cars and stuff. So that's why I want to say, this particular story, this particular situation, I hope they really do make a example of him because I think they dropped the ball in her situation.
And then also
They
you
believe
have
her
to be
because the guy kept saying,
persistent.
"Oh, that wasn't a news. That wasn't a news. That was, that was." It did look like a news to me and to a lot of other people, but they didn't. She didn't get the same fair treatment that your uncle got. So I really hope they make this, you know,
But she needed to be persistent, and I'm not gonna place all the blame on her, but in stuff like this, you have to be vigilant. You have to. You have to keep your foot on their necks and bring noise and bring attention to it.
And I mean, I remember there was protesting. She was doing all
Mm-hmm.
that. I remember they was protesting for months. I mean, they was protesting. They were, I mean, just all kind of stuff. Uh, Talking to people, interviewing people, and I don't know I don't know if she contacted someone like Justin. I mean, she lives here, so I don't know who she contacted on a lawyer level, but I do remember her doing a lot, to gain attention to the situation.
Mhm.
But maybe we could bring her on for a,
Follow
update.
up.
Yeah, because I really would like to know, like, because I haven't
Yeah,
heard anything about it.
and I mean, as a Black woman, I would like to know and support her.
Yeah, and we was supporting her. I was like, heck yeah, out there petitioning and all that kind of stuff out there and that's Kentucky. Shoot, you up there, a whole bunch of Black people, hundreds of Black people standing outside, and it's right on the inter. You know what Audemars is? It's right on the interstate. As soon as you get off, so that's all you see is big.
Oh, Broadway.
Yeah, right there, right there. So
Mhm.
I would like to know what ever happened with that. And what's up, Raymond? Hey, how you doing, Raymond Tackler? What forever? What's up?
Hello.
Yeah, I haven't seen your face in a minute.
But yeah, so Uncle's case, it slowed down quite a bit, and it seemed like it was at a halt. But thank God, the wheels of justice were still in motion. Just it
Yes.
wasn't as fast as we wanted it, and like I told Unc a couple of times, we have to be patient because like I've said before, we want popcorn things to happen, but we need to slow down and let it cook in the oven instead of using. We always want things in a hurry. You know, we got to slow it down. We got to slow it down.
He said, "Just relaxing by the water to clear my head." I heard that. Shoot,
By the water, what water you chilling by?
I wish we need to be by the fireplace.
Girl, okay.
It's like 30-something degrees at night here now already. And it ain't even
Right.
Halloween. It ain't even Halloween. And my son talking about taking my grandson trick-or-treating. I'm like, if it's 32 at night now, it's gonna be like, I don't know about all that. Can we just buy
What the baby gonna do? Don't tell him you better not have that baby out there in that cold weather with all these nuts.
I told them to take him to our church's annual trick or trunk. He can just walk through the parking lot, go inside where it's nice and warm. They got games and all that kind of stuff, and hot cocoa, and all kind of stuff. Marshmallows, s'mores for Halloween at our church in the parking lot.
Doing it.
Yes, they do it all the time, even during COVID, we was doing it.
But I'm just saying, because all these churches nowadays is, we don't celebrate and endorse the devil. I'm like,
and I understand, but shit, Christmas ain't really the day Christ was born on. It's a pagan holiday, but we celebrate Jesus on. Okay, we ain't even gonna get into all that, girl, because we see each other. We see each other. But he said he in the VA area and it's 55 here. It was 55 here for like the high today.
Right.
No, I think he got to like.
Yeah, my brother. That's where he was he's initially stationed there. That's where his home is in Norfolk or Yorktown.
It was like 60 here, but it's supposed to be like 30 or 35 or something like that tonight. She said, "Yep, indoor Halloween event." I'm telling you, I don't like the idea of my baby been out there. And his costume that he's getting is like the Pillsbury Doughboy. So it's gonna be kind of a warm costume, kind of.
But it's always if it ain't hot as hell, it's freezing out.
Yes. But y'all, I don't know if y'all heard about this next story that we're gonna discuss. And thank you so much, Karma Diva.
You should have played some of the video, because that's our video. You could have played some of the video from.
That ain't the Hood Table channel though.
That is so. I said it was part of the Hood Table.
That's your channel, honey. This what I'll do. I'll download it and then I'll download it as just a video because it is another YouTube channel. And
Okay,
even
well, let
though,
me say this loud and proud on here. I give the Hood Table Express permission to use my video and to chop it up and edit it
yeah, that's what I'm
however
gonna do. I'm gonna
you
chop it
see.
up and edit it, and all that kind of stuff. But all that because maybe I should not edit it and leave in all the parts where you were saying, what did you say? Your
Hey,
cousins? What they say? Your
Well,
hey,
cousin
T,
said,
T,
oh, can they be
y'all,
ghetto?
I'm here.
They ghetto. You
I'm
here?
here, y'all. Yeah, but give me a second. I got an important call. But I'm
okay,
here.
Oh,
good, because I want you to see this video, Sislo.
Okay, give me a
Okay,
minute.
when she was
we'll
like,
wait.
oh, they ghetto. Can they be? I was like, they can be ghetto. It's the Hood Table.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That was funny. I love it when people be coming over here and to the Hood Table and they be like, "Oh, we can't cuss, right? We can't." I'm like, "Yeah, you can cuss. I mean, come on now, it's the Hood Table." But I get what people are saying because some people um
Want to
they
be
they can't
conservative.
like totally be themselves on a lot of
Okay.
people's platforms. And as I always say, it just depends on what type of show we're doing. Now, of course, if I'm up here interviewing somebody and conducting an interview, then of course we're gonna talk up here like, I'm gonna do my Barbara Walters, my
Like we got some sense.
my Gail
Like
King.
look, like our mamas told us something.
Right, like my mama taught me something. But shoot, when it comes to Friday Night Live and stuff, ain't no we don't only censor nobody on Friday Night Live. It is what it is. We do what we do.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you, Miss Hogg. My uncle asked me to share that story because nobody else was listening to what he was saying.
Yeah.
And he knew that Tanya and I, we have a platform here, and that's what this platform is for,
Mm-hmm.
to get this information out into the community and to inform people of what's going on.
Yeah.
So it was my pleasure to put his story out there
Mm-hmm.
and to get it the get it the notoriety that it needed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I thank
Absolutely.
you all for tuning in and um, for supporting him and our community also.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Mm-hmm.
without you all, this story wouldn't have went anywhere.